Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
There'll be a brief ad at the end of this video. Now, we are living in a surveilled society. We're under surveillance all the time, and it ain't getting better. It's getting worse. You might go, Steve, how could it get worse? Well, how your FedEx driver is helping cops spy on you. That's the headline from the Daily Mail. Alex Hammer wrote this, but widely reported, including Forbes magazine and elsewhere, that FedEx is now working with the police using cameras to keep an eye on you and me. FedEx is using AI-powered cameras installed on its trucks to help aid police investigations, a new report has revealed. The popular firm has partnered with a $4 billion surveillance startup based in Georgia called Flock Safety. Flock Safety. You might say, Steve, I've heard of that name before, Flock. Have you mentioned it before? Why, yes, I have. They specialize in automated license plate recognition and video surveillance, and they already have a fleet of around 40,000 cameras across 4,000 cities in 40 different states. So much of the country already is being surveilled by Flock cameras being used by various governmental authorities. FedEx has teamed up with the company to monitor its facilities across the U.S., but under the deal, it's also sharing its Flock surveillance feeds with law enforcement. And it is believed to be one of 4 multi-billion-dollar private companies with this arrangement, which is leading critics to liken the move to rolling out a mass surveillance network, as it emerged that some local police forces are also sharing their Flock feeds with FedEx. So everybody's watching everybody and sharing the information with everybody. A policy analyst with the ACLU told the Virginia Pilot, there's a simple principle we've always had in this country, which is that the government doesn't get to watch everybody all the time just in case somebody commits a crime. These cameras are being deployed with such density that it's like GPS tracking everyone. In response to Forbes' report that FedEx is part of Flock's surveillance system, he told the outlet it raises questions about why a private company would have privileged access to data that normally is only available to law enforcement. He went on to bill it as a profoundly disconcerting concept. Now, the safety cameras are used to track vehicles by their license plates, as well as the make, model, and color of the cars. Other identifying characteristics are also monitored, such as dents and even bumper stickers. And that is, of course, about the cameras that are, set up all around places that pick up traffic. A staff attorney at the Electronic Frontier Foundation warned that FedEx's participation could prove problematic because private firms are not subject to the same transparency laws as cops. This, she told Forbes, could leave the public in the dark while at the same time expanding a sort of mass surveillance network. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee confirmed its partnership with Flock in an email to Forbes. We share reads from our Flock license plate readers with FedEx in the same manner we share the data with other law enforcement agencies locally, regionally, and nationally. Now, you'll notice there's a word in there that doesn't belong there. He says, we share the reads with FedEx in the same manner we share the data with other law enforcement agencies. And of course, FedEx is not a law enforcement agency, so why would they be listed that way? But he also confirmed his department had access to the Flock feeds from FedEx. So he says, look, they give us information, we give them information. Yeah, we're all getting along here. The participation was unmasked after Forbes found the name of the force on publicly available lists of data-sharing partners, along with others such as the Pittsburgh Police Department in Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis. Pittsburgh Police Chief reportedly did not comment on why his department is participating, but insisted the force had not requested access to a private system. Only those listed under law enforcement, he said. Now, an assistant chief of Greenwood confirmed its force in Indiana is similarly participating. Memphis Police Department also stated it had received camera feeds from FedEx, but did not confirm if these were provided by Flock. When speaking about networks of license plate readers, a senior staff attorney at the ACLU told Forbes, the scale of this kind of surveillance is just incredibly massive. He went on to describe to the outlet how the warrantless monitoring of citizens was quite horrifying. FedEx declined to answer questions about its partnership with Flock, saying in a statement, we take the safety of our team members very seriously. As such, we do not publicly discuss our security procedures. So they're saying, look, it's to protect our drivers and the packages they deliver. That's my way of interpreting what he just said there. But I'm not sure if that is completely, a good answer here. There's no suggestion that the partnership is illegal. but some critics suggest it is flouting the basic tenets of the Constitution. For now, it is currently unclear just how far-reaching the partnership between law enforcement and FedEx actually is, or how much flock data is being shared. Forbes also found that FedEx was not alone in doing this. Kaiser Permanente, the largest health insurance carrier in the U.S., is also taking part. The company shares data garnered from flock cameras with the Northern California Regional Intelligence Center, which works with local and federal police investigations of major crimes across California's West Coast. As part of our robust security programs, license plate readers are not only an effective visual deterrent, but the technology has allowed us to collaborate with law enforcement within the parameters of the law, a spokesperson confirmed. The technology has also been used in response to warrants and subpoenas, as well as in other scenarios regarding potential or ongoing crimes on the facility's premises, and it has supported the arrest and prosecution of those committing crimes. Cameras are labeled to disclose to passersby that are being filmed, but she declined to comment when asked about where the company had these cameras deployed. Meanwhile, police around the world over the past few years continue to pick up Flock as a partner, with more than 1,800 law enforcement agencies taking part. But that is, again, around the world. Overall, more than 3,000 American communities use Flock technology, only 10 years since the startup began in 2014. The firm today is valued at nearly $4 billion and continues to receive a steady stream of venture capital. A couple of years ago, it raised an astounding $300 million in 7 months, followed by $38 million in February of 23. It uses real-time data to enable and incentivize safer driving, the description on the website says, describing the effort as the world's first fully digital insurance company for connected and autonomous commercial vehicles. Eliminate crime in your community, it also says, and suggests that you could be doing this, for instance, at a grocery store. And, here's the thing. We've talked about this before. There are, traffic cameras, okay? We've talked about these for a long time. Some states have more than others. I'm talking about a camera that's parked someplace that is triggered by, like, say, a radar device to indicate whether someone's driving too fast, snaps a picture of your car and your license plate, and they send you a ticket, a speeding ticket. They're red light cameras. And you pull up to a light and you don't stop properly, the camera might get triggered, take a photograph of you and your license plate, and send you a ticket. We've also talked about, bridges, where instead of having a person taking tolls, they just simply photograph your car as it goes over, and they send you the bill. And so, it's getting more and more common that things like this are out there. But I remember not too long ago them talking about installing these things in a community in Michigan. And they simply said, look, there's this one major intersection that's like the heart of this particular community. And they go, so many people go through that intersection that if we simply installed cameras there and recorded every single car that went through in real time, make, model, color, along with the license plate, it would help us fight crime. Because quite often somebody will say, hey, this person just robbed a gas station and they're driving a 1965 blue convertible Impala. Guess what? A 1965 blue convertible Impala just went through this intersection. So now we know which direction they're going, and when they went to the intersection, we can kind of use that to triangulate where they might have headed, right? And you go, okay, I understand that there's uses for it, but do you really want to be tracked every place you go? And the people who make these decisions are supposed to be weighing this stuff, okay? And generally speaking, the Constitution appears to suggest that when you're fighting crime, you've got to kind of follow the leads, look at the evidence, your suspicions, and then your probable cause, and start narrowing down, how you're looking for somebody that way. And these dragnet searches, what they call them, that sweep up everybody. Now, it's true that if no one told you that your car was photographed and identified and then logged someplace, you would never know and it wouldn't actually hurt you. But the fact that they're doing this does raise the issues about Big Brother, okay? And I do think that most people pause when asked Do you want to live in a 100% surveillance state? Everywhere you go, you're being filmed and recorded, documented, and logged as data points. And you'll probably never know about it. It'll probably never affect you, other than the fact that you'll know what's happening. But does that bother you? And I think most people say, yeah, it kind of bothers me. Now, I remember, and I've had this discussion with a good friend of mine, about license plate readers on police cars. Because years ago, they came up with the technology that would allow a police car to be driven through a parking lot. And I realize I can put the technology in other cars, but generally speaking, it's the police. And they drive the car through the parking lot, and it's got these cameras that kind of face sideways. And it picks up the information of all the license plates it's being driven past, and it can run the information really, really fast, and they can go, oh, there's a vehicle right there that appears to belong or be connected somehow to somebody with an outstanding warrant. That's interesting information to know. And when I first heard about this, I thought to myself, well, you know something? That's not that big of a deal to me, because a police officer could drive through the parking lot and using his eyes, look at the license plates and then call them in or type them into a machine or whatever he does to run license plates. And I thought, so all the machine does in this situation, the reader, is it allows the officer to run them faster and, in essence, process more of them than he could humanly otherwise in the same amount of time. But it's still license plates that are available to be seen by the naked eye. And in the example of a parking lot, it's not at your home, it's in a parking lot. And so it seemed to me, I thought, that's not that bad. It's just the machine making the officer more efficient because he can do more cars that way. And I thought, something? For just one little step right there, I don't see a problem with that. Now I see the problem. Because no matter what you think technology's limits are, it'll go farther. And I remember a time when data, the storage of data, was such a problem that we all thought, oh, no one would ever sweep up everything because where would you store it all? Oh, it turns out now they've got storage for that. They got storage for that. Not a problem. So the fact that there are, 40,000 cameras across 4,000 cities in 40 different states, sweeping up data continuously, will they run out of storage space? No. Will they ever get that memory full thing? No. No. And that is the problem. So I have an issue with this, and I find it concerning. But again, there's nothing illegal about it. But unfortunately, FedEx is a company that I've got stuff delivered to me recently by FedEx. It does bother me that more and more places are saying, okay, we'll put in cameras and we'll basically connect ourselves to the network, because pretty soon we will live at a point, if nothing stops us, where everywhere you go, you could be on camera being tracked. And don't worry, we'll only use the information under the proper circumstances. And we all know what happens, among other things. Think about all the times you've heard of police officers getting in trouble for running the license plates or driver's licenses of people they just felt like looking up. Did it stop in traffic? No. Why are they looking it up? Oh, it's somebody that they're mad at, or it's somebody of the opposite sex they'd like to get to know better. Oh, we can look up her driver's license, see where she lives, maybe start driving by her house now. See if she likes a man in a uniform. So this to me is a concern. So it's where we are right now. We'll see if it keeps creeping in that direction, or if maybe we can kind of slow it down. So Blake and a bunch of other people sent that. Thanks a lot. That version's from the Daily Mail by Alex Hammer, but it's reported widely, including in Forbes and the Virginian Pilot. How your FedEx driver is helping the cops spy on you. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye. I told you there'd be an ad at the end of the video, and here we are. We're talking about Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. A team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. And so down in this corner here, I'm going to show the video of me putting the box on the counter when I got it yesterday, slicing it open, pulling out the meals, putting them in the fridge, putting one in the microwave. I'll cook it on camera. You'll see me cook it on camera. You'll see how little effort goes into this, and the meals taste great. And here's the thing. If you wanted to, you buy a cookbook, buy all the ingredients, go do all the shopping, do all the prep, make yourself all these great meals, and then clean up and think about all the time it takes. Who's got that kind of time? And the other day, I had to leave my house. I had 10 minutes. I had to leave my house in 10 minutes, and I actually thought, boy, I wish I'd had time to eat. And then I realized, I got a Factor meal in the fridge. Go downstairs, grab it, throw it in the microwave, 2 minutes. 2 minutes later, I pull it out, put it in the counter, let it cool off a little bit, eat it, and I still got out the door in the 10 minutes that I'd given myself to get out the door. So from the moment I conceived, I need to eat, to the moment I was going out the door, still managed to do it in the 10 minutes. And it's one of these things, you try it and you do it a couple of times and you're like, wow, this actually is like transformational with your life when you realize that you can get great meals like that in such a short period of time, and they're handy and they're right there for you. So the assortment is also good. I purposely just say, send me an assortment. I'm not going to sit here and pick and choose. I don't want anybody to say, well, Steve, maybe you like the meals you picked. No, I say just send me random meals. So tomato and walnut beef ragu, sun-dried tomato and spinach fusilli, turkey chili and zucchini, grilled pork chop and smoked cheddar cauli grits, 3-bean vegan chili, and the one I'm eating on camera, at least preparing on camera down here, jalapeno lime cheddar chicken. Fantastic meals. And again, I would never make these kind of meals for myself, and I don't have the ability, I don't have the time, and I know darn well if I set out to try to make one of these meals, I'd have to go to the store, buy tons of ingredients, I'd make a big mess, it would cost a lot of money, and I would deem it not worth my time. But here, it's worth my time. And in fact, I'm kind of surprised that they got it down to 2 minutes. It's kind of like one of those space age promises we were made back in the old days, like, someday we'll all have jetpacks, right? So it's unbelievable. So you get to eat stress-free this summer with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. But also, you can skip the grocery stores, the prep work, the cooking fatigue, all of that, and you get the chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. But keep in mind that I just gave you the assortment there of a few meals. They have over 35 meals to choose from each week, and you can also get options like keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more. And so what I'd urge you to do is go check out their website. Head to factor75.com or click the link below. You can use code LEHTO'sLaw50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. It's code LEHTO'sLaw50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box, 20% off your next month of orders. But you don't have to buy something by going to check it out. I would urge you to go check it out, though. Click on the link and go check it out and see the assortment, the variety, and how you can set these things up. And I'm telling you right now, when I've got these in my fridge, it actually takes a certain amount of stress out of my life, which in the summertime in particular, I like to live stress-free if I can. And knowing I've got these in the fridge, because, otherwise I got to go grocery shopping. And don't get me wrong, I like to go outside and meet people too. But it's so nice to know, there are Factor meals in the fridge, and they're so simple to prepare. It's like somebody actually up there said, hey, you know something? How can we simplify Steve's life? Steve's got too much on his plate, so to speak. How can we simplify his life? Let's make it to where we'll deliver these great meals to him, and he can just pick one at random, and 2 minutes later, it's done cooking, and he can eat it. And it's astounding. The time I save just on that, I love it. So I love Factor. I've been preaching about them for a long time here, and there's a reason for it. So again, the meals are fresh, never frozen. You get them delivered right to you. You throw them in the fridge. You eat them when you can. And it's amazing how good they are and how little time it takes to prepare them. So again, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code LEHTO'sLaw50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, 20% off your next month of orders, and that's code LEHTO'sLaw50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. A true friend is someone who thinks you are a good egg, even though he knows that you're slightly cracked.